You know what? That first goal, within 1 minute of a call it competitive game of football in the new season, the one thing we wanted to see from Arsenal, intensity in the central areas, intent to play through the lines, and Lewis Skelly and Calafiori deliver that immediately. And listen, you need teams to give you the space to do that, but Calafiori's movement, Lewis Skelly's strength on the ball, and ability and awareness to play that pass is sensational. It just set the tone immediately for Arsenal, and I have to say I really loved that in a week where a lot of rumours did the rounds. You know, there's a lot of conversation around. No, actually, I'm not going to call it rumours. I've been defending them. Reports. A lot of reports did the rounds about Miles Lewis Skelly and his future, and also about other players, which will go into sales and what's really going on. Arteta went, Miles is starting this game. He started all the pre-season, he's looked really good, and he's starting next to Bruno. And the balance with Erdegaard was sensational. It just felt like three players who wonderfully complemented one another.
Yeah, yeah. And look, there are two ways that could have gone. Yeah, whether you want to call them rumors or reports, Miles is a young man. All right, Miles is a young man, and there was a lot of talk about the way in which he celebrated his goal in pre-season. To have that show of faith from the manager, but then to turn up against the team that a lot of people are calling your primary title rivals, right? And do it with that intent from the first minute and change the trajectory of the game. I'm lost. I'm lost for words. Calafiori post match. I don't know if you caught the post match, but Calafiori post match says he doesn't say I don't think there are many players in our squad that could have played that pass. He said I don't think there's anyone in that squad that would have seen the lines the way that Miles did. So he's placing that level of praise on him. He's saying he's the only one that I think, in fact, would have played me in that way. Whether it's the strength, whether it's the vision, whether it's a combination of both, remains to be seen. You then listen to Maresca. You then listen to Ruben Diaz, and obviously they're sitting there discussing the results, but they say it was very difficult for us to even settle down because of how early that goal came and how quickly they were in. So that was transformative. That was transformative. And bro, we're going to sit here now. I reckon all season. I reckon until the end of the season, we're going to be sat here. Ooh, echoing a little. How do I help?
So I think that was a few minutes ago. My headphones disconnected, so I think we're
Fine, fine,
fine now.
fine.
But if
I
it's
think we're
still an
going to be
echo,
sat
guys,
there.
let me know. But I think we're okay now.
I think we're going to be sat there discussing what our best pairing is because I think for a large part of the season we're going to be quite content with okay, we can rotate Declan, we can rotate Bruno, we can rotate Miles, we can rotate Zubi. But as the season progresses, there will be that crunch game. It might be City in January, it might be a Champions League semi or whatever. There will come a point where we'll have to sit there and go, right, but what's our best midfield pairing? And as of now, I don't know about you, I can't answer that question. I don't think I can answer that question properly.
No.
I don't know. I can't imagine a world within which I say, well, Miles can't play because Bruno's come in. I can't imagine a world within which I'm benching Declan Rice in our best midfield. I can't imagine a world within which Bruno isn't starting in that. Erdegaard looks like he's on fire right now, and Martin Keown was saying post match, he was saying, well, Eze's probably sitting there looking at that, going, if he stays in this form, I've got to get past him, and I've got to up my levels in that position, right? And if he's looking at the left wing, he's looking at Solis. All of this stuff about us being undercooked and what we were saying about preseason has to end just before the Como game. This has now completely changed the way in which I feel going into the Coventry game because it's shown me right. The intensity is there, the
Yeah.
quality is there. We've definitely got what I think we need for that initial cluster of fixtures.
I said on loose cannons as well, whilst very much agreeing with Jordan and Turkish's assessment that we need more in attack. I asked the question, when's the point at which we basically just stop complaining and just go, we've won the title. Arteta's shown he can deliver with these players. Let's see what they do again with whatever window we've had. And also, we have added Christos Solis. Now,
Mm,
I agree we need an attacker. And it's not about retaining the Premier League. Rodri has just left Man City and everyone else has new managers. Salah's just left Liverpool. I feel extremely confident that this group can go win the Premier League again and go back to back. But we're talking about being the best in Europe. When I look at what Kvaratskhelia did for that first goal against Aston Villa this week, I just think, oh my word. I mean, who do we have that can do that? Saka in his prime 2 years ago could, but we're waiting to see if he can get back to that. And even then, Kvaratskhelia's just hit a level that people are talking about potential Ballon d'Ors right now. Now, it's very difficult to get Ballon d'Or level talent. We tried very hard for Vinny, we couldn't. So I agree we need something special to be added to the attack. But I never agreed with the idea that we definitely needed a left winger and a striker. I never even agreed with the idea that it had to be a left winger. We've talked about that a lot, Sheroy, that could Eze be the solution on the left? But we all have to remember that Solis is a new signing. Like Arsenal, Arteta, Berta, the scouting department, not Tim Lewis, who's Richard Garlick, the Cronkies, they all looked at this player and they sanctioned £34 million to sign him. They didn't do that for the sake of it. They didn't go, oh, Solis sounds a bit like Trossard and he both also played in Belgium, so we'll sign him. Like, they sign him because they think there's a player there. And I'm sorry, he's looked better and better and better. He is... I've been really impressed by him. And there's a lot of things he does that I just think are so intelligent. The positions he picks up, the little passes he plays. I think Arteta, I don't know how Arteta described him, as maybe either efficient or intelligent. I can't remember what he said, but...
Decisive is the word that he used. Decisive is the word that he used.
And the numbers are there to prove it. What are you making of him?
It's not just the numbers. By the way, I can see a few people commenting on the mug and the fact that it says WWF. I've had this since I was about 9 or 10 years old. Yeah, when I was a big fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin, I've kept it. It's not because I still watch wrestling, but I'm a sentimental guy. Look, Solis. When we were watching him in pre-season, we were sat there and we were saying we can't quite jump to conclusions because of who the opponents are. Okay, he now jumps into a game against a team that's being touted as our primary competitor. I said this on my own match reaction actually that I uploaded today. So apologies if I'm repeating myself. But the header, the cushioned header, a lot of people in that situation would have just said, you know what, I don't have much time to think about it. I'm just going to get as much power as I can, head it across the box, hope for the best, might be a ricochet, whatever. He doesn't do that. He knows that the only way Havertz is going to get there is if he lofts it. So he lofts it with intent, and that's why Havertz gets that goal. The second one, his second assist, sorry. The way that he finds Ødegaard, I saw a bit of speculation online about the fact that he may or may not have been looking for him. I'm pretty sure he was. So this now carries on the trajectory that we've been seeing in pre-season. This now carries on with the data from his last club. All of it is addressing criticism that we've actually had with a lot of our, not just left wingers, a lot of our attacking players. It's, you have the ability. Are you making the right decision at the right time? He does it naturally. It's almost his natural instinct to make the right decision and make the right decision quickly. And at that point, bro, you don't need to really be doing anything extravagant, because when you play on that flank, you are going to get those moments to be decisive. It's that simple. When Martinelli played there, he got them. When Trossard played there, he got them. When Madueke plays there, he gets them. When Saka plays there, he gets them. If you play in this team, you do get those moments. It's what you make of them. And it seems as though he doesn't need that many to have that output. Going back to the way in which we were attacking and whether it had to be the front line, exactly what we were discussing. We today have two very, very attack-minded fullbacks, and look at the difference it makes to the attack. No one can pick Calafiori up. No one knows whether White's going to overlap or not, and it creates space for Madueke. We're a different attacking proposition, not necessarily just because of the attacking personnel, but because of the fullbacks. And that's why I'm sort of sat here thinking, very often in Arteta's tenure, he's stumbled upon things, sometimes by design, but sometimes by necessity, because of injury or whatever. Is the Timber injury and White starting with Calafiori, is that just going to be one of those things where we look back and go, maybe that's when the way in which we play football and the way in which we build up changed? You know, who knows? If we start the season or the next big game with White, but then it's in Capia, then we know our answer. But if he continues with White and Calafiori in that vein, then I think players like Solis are going to have many, many more opportunities to show what they're made of.